Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about something that I think every single one of us has gone through or is going through right now. Waiting. That feeling of being in a hallway, praying for a door to open. You've sent out the job applications, you've been praying for a partner, you're hoping for healing, or you're just waiting for a breakthrough. And in this fast-paced, instant gratification world we live in, waiting feels like a punishment, doesn't it? We see highlight reels on social media, and it feels like everyone else is moving forward while we're stuck. If you've ever felt that way, I want you to know you're not alone, and today we are going to dive into what the Bible says about trusting God's timing in these seasons of waiting. Let's start with a foundational truth. Our concept of time is so different from God's. We see time as a straight line, ticking away second by second. We have deadlines, 5-year plans, and a constant sense of urgency. But the Bible tells us something different. 2 Peter 3:8 says, "But do not forget this one thing, dear friends. With the Lord a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day." This isn't just a poetic phrase, it's a perspective shift. God operates outside of our linear timeline. He sees the beginning, the middle, and the end all at once. So when we're feeling impatient, anxious, that things aren't happening on time, we need to remember that God's on time is perfect, even if it doesn't align with our personal calendar. He's not slow, as the next verse says. He is patient. His timing isn't about making us wait. It's about preparing the way and, more importantly, preparing us. Think about some of the greatest stories in the Bible. They are filled with seasons of waiting. Abraham and Sarah waited decades for the promised son, Isaac. They were old, past the age of childbearing. Imagine the doubt, the questions, the monthly disappointment. Yet Genesis 21 shows us that at God's appointed time, Sarah conceived. Their waiting period wasn't a denial of God's promise. It was the runway for a miracle that would display His power in a way that would not have been possible if it had happened according to their schedule. What feels like a delay to us is often a setup for a greater display of God's glory. Then there's Joseph. Talk about a season of waiting. He was sold into slavery by his brothers, falsely accused and thrown into prison. 13 years passed from the time he was in the pit to the moment he stood before Pharaoh. Can you imagine the nights he must have spent in that prison cell, wondering if God had forgotten him? But here's the key. During that time, Joseph was being developed. He learned administration in Potiphar's house, and he learned humility and reliance on God in prison. When his moment finally came to interpret Pharaoh's dream, he wasn't just ready. He was perfectly equipped to save an entire nation from famine. Genesis 50:20 is Joseph's powerful summary. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." God was using the waiting, the injustice, and the pain to shape a leader and orchestrate a rescue mission. So what does this mean for us today in our world of notifications and next-day delivery? It means that our waiting season is not wasted time. It is a season of preparation. Maybe God is developing a skill in you. Maybe He's building your character, patience, endurance, faith. Maybe He's protecting you from something you can't see yet. Maybe the person you're praying for isn't ready for you yet. Or the job you want would be a disaster if you got it right now. We only see the closed door. God sees the entire building and knows which door is best and when it should be opened. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." This includes a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to weep and a time to laugh. There is also a time to wait. Instead of fighting against this season, what if we leaned into it? What if, instead of just asking God to end the waiting, we asked Him, "God, what are you trying to teach me in this season? How are you preparing me for what's next?" I know it's hard. The silence can be deafening. That's when we have to actively choose to trust. Proverbs 3:5-6 is a classic for a reason. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Notice it says, lean not on your own understanding. Our understanding tells us this delay is bad, that we're falling behind. But faith says, I don't understand this, but I trust the one who does. So, how do we practically live this out? First, stay in the Word. When you feel anxious, flood your mind with God's promises. Remind yourself of his faithfulness to Abraham, Joseph, David, and countless others. Their stories are there to build our faith. Second, keep praying. But maybe shift your prayers from, God, give me this now, to God, align my heart with your will. Help me to be faithful today, right where I am. Show me what you want me to learn in this waiting room. And third, serve. Don't put your life on hold while you wait. Look around. Who can you encourage? Where can you volunteer? Often, when we get busy serving others and focusing on God's kingdom, our perspective shifts. We find purpose and joy right in the middle of our waiting. One of my favorite verses for seasons of waiting is Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. The word hope here is not a passive wishful thinking. In Hebrew, it's the word kava, which means to wait, yes, but it also means to bind together, to be entwined. So, those who bind themselves to the Lord in their waiting will find their strength renewed. It's not about passively sitting and waiting for something to drop from the sky. It's about actively clinging to God, drawing strength from him, and allowing him to carry you through. Your waiting is not a sign of God's absence. It's an invitation into a deeper trust. He has not forgotten you. He is not punishing you. He is working. He is preparing. His timing is perfect. And one day, you will look back on this season, just like Joseph did, and see how God intended it all for good. You will see how he was weaving a beautiful story, and you'll be so grateful that you didn't get your way, but that you got his. So hold on, friends. Trust the process. Trust the timing. And most of all, trust the heart of the Father who loves you more than you can possibly imagine. Thank you so much for watching today. If this message resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and maybe share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. I'd love to hear in the comments how you're navigating your own season of waiting. Until next time, be blessed.